Before we start the main story, let me take you back to a different time. Specifically, 5 minutes past 6 in the evening on a Tuesday in September, about 10 years ago. A group of clearly important and formally dressed anthropomorphic weasels are having dinner around a large table. There is a father, a mother, a girl of about 5, and a small baby weasel who is not even a year old yet and is still being fed by its mother. Red lights, like the ones atop an ambulance, begin to cast scarlet light and dark shadows across the dinner hall as sirens blare. The parents look fearful, the weasel girl looks nonplussed, and the baby weasel is already crying as if he knows what is about to happen. The father weasel takes the hand of the girl weasel, and the mother weasel scoops the little baby boy weasel up to carry him out of the room. Soon, all 4 are heading down a stone spiral staircase designed as a secret exit in case something exactly like this was to ever happen. The castle is on fire and crumbling around them as they descend the stairs that now seem much longer than they ever used to be. Both parental weasels are shouting reassurances to their children, despite the fact that neither of them even understood the danger of the situation, and even if they did, their parents' voices would have been lost in the noise of everything and everyone else around them, panicking, being destroyed and dying. The father is not as physically quick as the mother, and he and the daughter lag behind. Suddenly, a fire-laden beam from the castle supports collapses and separates the group of 4 into 2 parties, mother with son and father with daughter. The father smiles a small smile of hope as he and his daughter begin to attempt to move the beam and press on. Another beam falls, and that small smile of hope is forever a stain on the already soot-covered fur of the father's face. The daughter is lost from sight, and the mother can only keep running, knowing that her husband is dead and that her daughter probably just perished with him. It is all the mother can do to get her baby boy down to the boat and try to row away from the chaos. The baby's eyes begin to close as he falls asleep in his mother's arms while she is rowing away from the teal-coloured castle that is now nothing but a fireball. When the weasel baby opens his eyes again, his home is no longer anywhere to be seen. Neither is the land. Neither is his mother. 10 years later, and in the emptiness of space above the planet Mobius, was a great red metal structure. This structure had the distinct shape of a man's head. Specifically a grinning man wearing shades and with a massive moustache that stuck out from the sides of the spacecraft so much that the ends of it acted as wings when the ship was flying through the void around it. This ship was known as the Egg Carrier, and inside the ship was a single man and a crew of 1,125 robots that controlled its every move. The man was Dr. Ivo Robotnik, and he was, at that very moment, typing out his daily diary entry on a big computer terminal in his office, located on the very literal nose of the ship. He spoke aloud as he typed the following: Day 1548 of me trying to destroy that putrid hedgehog and his friends. As I promised myself at the start, I have not shaved my upper lip since my first encounter with him. However, I am now starting to question if I even ought to do so once I kill said enemy. I look fabulous with this moustache. I wonder if I have reached some kind of new record with its length. Anyway, back to the issue at hand. I think if I'm going to beat Sonic, I'm going to have to break Sonic. Not just physically, but mentally. The question is, how? A sudden purple flash takes Dr. Robotnik by surprise. He swears as he falls off his chair and is left staring gormlessly at the dark figure that stands before him. The figure was wearing a dark mask that covered 3/4 of his face. He had black fur, and the one eye that was visible was a deep shade of blood red. The other eye, covered by the mask, was glowing a similar shade of crimson. He had sharp talons on the end of his fingers and toes, and he stood with his arms almost forward in a beckoning pose, with his chin raised as if all around him were beneath him. Robotnik screamed, "By the faded symphonies of my beliefs, what spawn of the dark side are you? Enough overindulgence in your theatrics, old man. I am here with a business deal." Continuing to scream, Robotnik yelped, "Godbots, seize him!" The creature calmly and reasonably replied, "Do you really think that a being such as myself, capable of teleportation, and with the boldness to just appear in the spaceship of a ruthless dictator, would not first make sure his guard bots are all destroyed?" Robotnik, realising he was on his own, calmed himself down and changed tact. Maybe he could reason with whoever this was. "Clearly you are intelligent and a fan of my work. So what kind of business offer are you proposing?" The creature continued. "A virus." Robotnik leaned closer. "Yes?" The creature offered. "We give it to Sonic's friends." Robotnik leaned closer still. "Uh-huh." The creature proposed. Suffering ensues. Robotnik was now nearly touching nose to nose with the creature. "Could you get to the point a little bit faster?" "My apologies. I was going slow for your benefit."